Hey everyone, I'm Daisuke from Pixologic. So let me start the sculpting for today. I'll be speaking in English throughout the live, and if you have any questions related to Japan or like ZBrush Core, ZBrush Core Mini, let me know. Is the audio fine, or do I need to do some tweaking? Hey. So the last stream was October themed, so like I was doing some like Halloween kind of stuff and with the Santa stuff. So I'm gonna remove the October theme for now. Let me delete this. I can just recover it from the older save I did. So today's stream will be making a couple of chairs and then posing them. Oh. I need to make the hat a bit bigger. Snake hook. Nope. No RGB settings. Okay, thanks. So let me start by making the chair before I start posing. So my chair design is not defined yet, so I'm just like, I just collected a couple of like references. So looks like this, which is the typical kind of like a chair you can find in Christmas seasons in a shopping mall. Like they used to have them in, yeah, she does have a fake mustache, like she's like holding it. I'm planning her to hold it in the last pose, so that's the plan for now. So yeah, I used to live in England, and they have a huge shopping mall, and they used to have a huge like tree and a fake Santa Claus sitting there. So I'm gonna make a chair. Well, let me just make a new folder. Chair. And let me block out something and then move it back. So I just need a polycube. And then I just need to scale it. So I'm just gonna make a rough design of the chair. It doesn't need to be perfect. But you do need the color schemes and stuff like those, so it kind of like gives you an idea of like how it can look. I'm gonna get the color from the reference image, so I'm gonna use Z color. Z color is really useful, but it's not like, you can't use it with a multi-screen, so you gotta move the Z color to the main screen to get the color picker correct, and then you can get the color. Then it's like it sent the color from here to here, so you can use it now. And this is how you use Z color, which is really useful. I just need a bit more lighter color, I guess. Like this, and then it's fine. Usually I do two steps. So first of all, I just make a rough design of like what kind of look I'm gonna look for, and then on the second pass, like I'm gonna do the and clean its topology by like refining by zero measure or some other methods I can use, and then we can start from there. But if we just straight start a design from start and then like try to do it to the final pose or like final design, is going to be a bit like rough. So I usually do one step for like getting the rough design and then like polishing it. Daisuke just ruined Christmas. Yes. So for these kind of like designs, you can also use like move infinity depth, which is really handy for making these kind of like shapes really quickly on the fly. Also, you can like adjust them from the front, you can adjust them from the side. I think I need more depth on the chair, I guess. Should be fine like this. And maybe I'm a bit more taller. I don't know, like we need to make her sit and then like define it. That should be fine. Just placing a cylinder, 90 degrees. It's really like fun to like just do whatever you want and then like think about things later on. So for example, if I mask this area, push it, and then get the shape. It's really easy. Nope. I was planning to show a keyboard stroke, so you can check out the strokes. Forgot about that. Okay, so red wax. Well, red wax is a bit hard to see in the stream, so I'm gonna adjust it to have a blue wax effect. So hue. There you go. Yeah, you can just make a blue wax from like opening up the matcap red wax and then adjusting the hue A and B to be the max amount, and then you can get a blue kind of like effect, which is not really bad. Like it's kind of easy to see. I need this area to be a bit more. Okay. And I need to adjust this part. Need to get a bit more lower. Should be fine, I guess. And then I want a couple of like legs on the bottom, so I'm gonna mask the area, reverse it. Nope. I better use a Q mesh then. Q mesh. There. Then I can adjust this area. Move it this way. That should be fine. Adjust the chair a bit. I think I need a bit more resolution on the back side of the chair, so I'm gonna split this and add more resolution. Now it looks like a tombstone, so I'm gonna adjust a bit by using lasso, I guess. That should be fine. Polygroup. Yes. So next I will need to smooth the polygroups a bit. Looks fine. Next I need to delete the lower so I can extrude a bit. That should be fine. So it's gonna look like this, and I'm gonna do a bit more detail on this one. I'm just gonna use Dynamesh and then update it, just sculpt on top of it, like getting a spiral. And we just need a cushion for her to like sit on, I guess. And I think I need the red for this color. And a red for the cushion. So, oh, not this one. Fine. Move it around. Why does masking and hide in opposite way, like click and drag outside the model? Why do they work in opposite way? I mean, I don't know. It's been like that forever, so I'm so used to that. Nope. Okay, so I have the cushion. I just need a bit of adjustment then. some of the stuff are like above my pay grade, so some questions are like hard for me to answer, especially what decision they made to like design this kind of like specific creature, which I don't really know, and mostly there's a couple of like historical reasons and like development reasons. Yeah, you can ask around, to be honest. Like Joseph and Paul knows more stuff than me, so if you ask them, you might get a different answer. Okay, so this is fine. Maybe I want to put some like poles on the top. I don't know, we can try. The good thing about ZBrush is that you can like try to get the design, like if you don't like it, just chuck it. Like you can throw it away really quickly. And if you like it, then it was worth your time. So are you going to use cloth stuff when posing her, like brushes or simulation, or just the old way? I'll try to use deformers or deformations. Or, no, I mean dynamics. But for now, she doesn't really have too much detail on her, so for now I need to do the initial pose, and then I'm gonna use some like cloth features if needed. I don't think this pole thing is working. If it has something arching on top, it's gonna work, but I don't think it's working. And I was gonna try to make some like dress design like this, so a bit more complex. So currently it's really simple, but I think I'll think about the dress again while I designed it, like after I post something. Hey, how about like adding like the ranger's horn on top of this? Let me use Sculptures Pro. Yeah, I think it works. So I'm gonna adjust the color so it looks like a brown, making it thin. I need to look at more reindeer's horn designs, but I'm sure they are, most of the horns are going up. Like this. Huh, yeah, I think it works. But I may need to break some symmetry because it doesn't really look like a horn when it's like perfectly symmetrical. And is the horn smooth, or does it have... it does have lines. And how about a mix of like tree and then like looking like a horn on the top? Want to become famous? Yeah, I want to become famous, but not by paying. Yeah, I'm gonna plan to like add more ribbons and stuff. So definitely I'm gonna use some dynamics over there as well. Okay, let me just go ahead and pose so we can have a general idea of like what we are looking at. So let me save the file. Santa 3 pre-pose. And let me check this as lower subdivision levels. I don't think we need too much high polygons. Yeah, like it's pretty common on Twitch right now. So like we see it every time. It's gonna be a bit annoying. And like it's the same for like YouTube comments. You get like, oh, I love it, and then they put a timestamp on it, but like it's a bot, so automation is like kind of a pain right now. Okay, let me remove the strings because this was just a placeholder. Okay. I think the hair part will be a bit more, yeah, and may need some like adjustments. And at least the hair itself is like isolated. So the mustache moved here. Yeah, fine. Okay, let me start by posing her. Oh, no, I just need to do a bit more reduce. And also let me isolate the chair. Oh, so one tip about folders, like if you select by like using the Pete's box and then selecting like what kind of like subtool you want in that like selection, and then if you do this and then while doing this you make a new folder, it's gonna ask you there's several visible like subtools in current, active, or multi-transpose. Would you like them to create a new folder? And you say yes. And then you name it, like chair. It's gonna be included in that folder itself. So like you can check the entire like chair is gone now, so it's on a separate folder. So this is handy when you're like posing a model and then you don't want to like move this model. So let me save it again. Save as, pre-pose, okay. And then you go to Transpose Master. And then you don't want to move the chair. Then I just hide this. Oh, wait. I do want to see the chair, but I need to mask it then. I should have made the chair afterwards. Well, that's too late, so let me start the process. Oh yeah, I need to move the skirt as well. So do I have a double-sided situation happening? Weird. Okay. Rotation, a bit more blur, then, yeah. Double check if it's fine. Oh, you can adjust this later on. Like bending the entire body is like really hard without deforming them. yeah, I just need to adjust a couple of things and also you can use more move topology brush, so you don't need to like move or like isolate everything because it's a separate topology. Weird. And then I need to like pose her like this. So I'm gonna isolate the arm, this area as well. Blur the mask. Oh, we don't need this. Additional masking. Blur. Where am I not masking? Oh, it's on the back. We don't want fingers colliding each other, so I'm gonna move it like this. And we just need a bit more like unsymmetry kind of like action. Oh, by the way, you can like assign polygroups while posing. So if you have a mesh like this, and you can like make it into one single polygroup, and then it's easier to like isolate the chairs. Also, if you have a hat, you can make a polygroup, just click one thing and then it will be easier. So it'll be same for the hair itself. You can isolate them and make it easier to pose. So you can do this on the fly, but for example, I can just select like this, and then the entire head is like isolated. And then you can use the topological masking to select the area, and then rotate it, which is pretty handy. Some people don't assign polygroups when they're posing, and they make it a bit more harder. So if you just want isolate chairs, isolate heads, easy. And so then I can just like start going into details after I switch back to the original data. I don't think it's really cute at this point. I think it's the facial expressions. Well, let me send back the pose. Okay. So now I can adjust them freely. And I just need to fix a couple of things I didn't really like about the change. Oh. This is when you have masking where you didn't want them to mask. And I was kind of like rushing stuff, so if you have the time, just double check. I'm gonna fix the body sculptor anyways, so you don't need to worry about it. Any advice on making anime heads faces? I made a video on my personal channel, but let me direct you to that one. Or you can like watch my past streams I did. Oh, not this one. Oh, sorry, not this one. This one. Oh, hey, Spicer. Down, I missed the beginning. Is it possible to see the replay? You can watch it on YouTube. So if you go to Pixologic, then if you check out this, you'll be able to see the stream from the beginning. Or this will be an archive, so you don't need to worry about it. I need to fix a couple of things on this model. Always take time to post. I wonder if I... Oh. Wait. I didn't assign any polygroups? Wait. I thought I did. Let me go down to a lower level and then assign a cleaner one. That should be fine. Okay, so don't need the legs. Weeb? I'm Japanese. How am I a weeb? You Korean or JP? Yes, I'm Japanese. Do you have a Twitter account we could follow? It's my personal Twitter, so you can look it up, but I don't really have a Pixologic account, to be honest. Is this channel live often? For Pixologic channel, you can have a couple of other live streamers, like doing most of the streams pretty much every day. So yeah, it's pretty live often. Oh, thank you, Maud. So the good part of this stream is like you can see a lot of like other artists doing other workflows and other kind of like designs. So it's not just like me. You can like watch streamers from like who can speak Russian or who can speak Spanish, Espanol, and those. So you have a wide range of people who you can talk, and they can like answer your specific questions if it's like game related or like actual like 3D print related stuff. So it's not just like me doing weeb stuff. Of course, I'm not gonna mean it in a bad way, so. I called a Japanese girl a weeb once, and she got mad and said that she wasn't a weeb, that she wasn't an otaku. Huh, yeah, some people take otaku as an insult. I don't take that as an insult, but yeah, sometimes it's not good to say otaku to Japanese people. They might not like it. I'm on the side of like, otaku is too good of a title for me. I'm not on that level. Otaku is a specialized person, so I take otaku as a like more higher standard than I am, so. It depends on who you ask, but otaku is a bad reputation in general, but especially if you're dating someone, it's not gonna like bring you any attention if you're an otaku. Reverse. Yeah. You can click on each event to see your local time. Yeah, so you can go to the calendar and then set a reminder. It's going to show you each local time zone. So if you live in Japan, like you're going to have like +9 hours from GMT time. So there's a couple of like changes. It's going to be really handy. So if you don't want to miss a stream, you can set a reminder, and also you can just check the times on the calendar. Well, I can identify most of the animes in general. If it's what I know. If I don't know the anime, it's impossible for me, but if I know the anime and like if you show a couple frames, maybe I can identify it. おはようございます。I'm gonna delete this design because I don't really need it, because I'm gonna change it anyways. I think I just want to delete the like gloves first and then like do it again afterwards. So it's gonna be easier for me. So first of all, the thumb's a bit short. I didn't notice this. Okay. Do you have social media accounts where we could see your works? It's on the ZBrush Central, so. What is the industry like in Japan? Are there a lot of like very options, or is a large percent of it anime toys? I don't understand the question. If it's like 3D specific, or you're asking a general question regarding the work situation in Japan. For the 3D industry, it's not really mostly for most of the 3D industry is based on pachinko industries. So if you know pachinko, it's a gamble. It's kind of a gamble. You got slots and pachinko, which needs 3D for their like games. So that's the like most of the like close to half of the 3D industry is based on that specifically. And the rest of it is like toys and movies and stuff like those. Anime industry is getting bigger, but it's still a smaller industry if you compare it to other kind of like 3D categories. Usually they don't really require that much person unless it's animation related. So if you're making models, you don't really have a huge amount of team doing those. The majority of 3D artists working in a specific industry. Yeah, so pachinko industry is the main one. Yeah, so for collectibles and mascots, they don't really require so much people doing it. So, so usually if you look at how many people are involved in one project, it's like one main artist doing this main sculpt, and then there might be like 2 or 3 people involved with like sanding, finishing, polishing, taking over another data, and then doing the hard surface stuff and those kind of stuff. But like, it doesn't take a lot of team effort to like make those kind of stuff. So the biggest industry would be the pachinko because it requires a lot of assets. And then I think second will be the game industries, because like you need to have a lot of assets, like you can imagine, I guess. And then the third one will be the movies, because Japan's movies are not really centered around 3D. we don't have a big like studio like Pixar or like Disney in Japan. So we have Digital Frontier, and I think the other one would be yeah, Shirogumi. Shirogumi is a bigger like second studio in Japan. Second or first, I guess. So those are the big ones. So, but they are more focused on the like VFX side of stuff. There is a couple of like surprising use of 3D in Japan, so I'm like sometimes I'm not really aware of those kind of like uses, but some people are using ZBrush for like sculpting Buddhas with stone and stuff like this, so I'll make it more cuter, I promise. Like, if your posing is not great, it's hard to like generate some cuteness. Sorry, I'm gonna turn off the phone because it's gonna send so much messages. Okay. Japanese character with a British pinky? What's a British pinky? I get it, yeah. Yeah, there is a couple of people who do those. It's just like me taking a bit of like time. I just need additional time to just bend these. Why do you use ZSphere for rigging? Why don't you use because it takes time to set up. I usually just use masking because it's easier for me to just pose and then like move and I don't need to care about the effect of like unintended effect of like binding meshes. I'm used to this way, so it depends on who you ask, I guess. I'm gonna adjust the fingers later on, so you don't need to worry about like like the fingers being a bit like thin and stuff. If the topology is a bit more cleaner, it's gonna bend, like mask. It's easier to mask the areas a bit more easily. Please next time render using Substance Painter. I want to know how to export it from ZBrush. No, I'm not gonna go to Substance Painter. I'm gonna use Keyshot, I guess. I don't like bending fingers, so I do it on the last second, but because this like expression is kind of like important for this character, I need to do it now. I usually skip this to the end and like don't care about it for a while, forget about it, and then on the last second I like start remembering and then go into rage mode and just do it. So if you don't like bending fingers, then yeah, you're with me. I usually just go ahead and like snake hook them if I want. If that's like okay, or if the result is fine, like Anyone know when the next version of ZBrush is coming out? It's before the holidays, so it's soon. The basic of it is to decimate it and poly paint so you can have your color map. Yeah. Usually you want to like retopology, do some retopology first before you open up a mesh and then like send it over to some other application. So do the retopology first and open up a UV and then send it to a 3D painting application in your choosing. Like ZBrush is not ZBrush is mainly a sculpting application, so you can hand over other like specific tasks or like specialized tasks to other softwares. I want to talk, but like I'm focusing on the figures, so give me a bit more time to finish this, and I can like start talking. Any questions related to ZBrush, ZBrush Core, ZBrush Core Mini, or Japan is welcome. Or you can even ask anime questions if you want. I feel like I'm wasting time by sculpting clothes with bad topology because I will just have to go back and fix it later. It depends on what kind of like workflow you're choosing. Like if you just want a rough shape and then like get the general idea of like what you're doing, then yeah, it's worth just going ahead and like sculpting, and then afterwards you can change any topology. It depends on like what position or like what situation you're in. So for example, if I don't know what kind of like shape I'm looking for, then you can change the topology on the fly by using like ZRemesher, and then like changing the topology later on and adjusting accordingly to the shape. So you don't need to really be concerned about having a good topology on the initial phase of like sculpting. People sometimes don't prefer to do those, but it's their preference. But it's gonna be a quicker way to like get the shape done and then focus on the topology later on. I prefer it that way. What is your preferred method of retopology? Well, there's a couple of ways. Depends on what you need. So if you need a specific topology on specific locations, then it's not going to be a ZBrush, it's going to be a manual retopology. You can use Maya, you can use 3ds Max. I used to prefer 3ds Max, but now I can just use ZBrush or like using ZBrush as a template and then starting from there and using ZModeler to adjust the topology. ZBrush's extrude is really nice. So you can use extrude edge, snap to surface, and then use that for retopology purposes. It's very handy. But if you just need to do some like rough shapes and designs, and like if you just want to change the topology on the fly and go back to sculpting, then it's ZBrush. It's just fine. Do you think it's better to learn 3ds Max before ZBrush? It depends on what you're looking for. So if you like, learning 3ds Max is like hard. It was really hard for me because you need to focus on topology and making the shapes at the same time. You don't really, you can't really see the shape unless you made it. Or like you have to have experience of like having to make it a couple of times, and then now you can understand how the topology works, how the shape would look like. But if you don't have any experience and then you don't have any idea what kind of shape you're looking for, then it will be really, really hard. So like usually you need to have like 3-sided reference sheets for making models for 3ds Max, but in ZBrush you don't really need those. You can do it like just putting like spheres and squares and then like reshaping them, and then you can use that as a basis for the characters and the shapes you want. Like for example, I didn't have any idea of like what kind of like chair I was looking for, so I just like put some like couple of basic shapes and then like be done with it. So you can do those kind of stuffs too. Hey Roblums. I really like how Polygroups can help keep track of loops when retopology in ZBrush. Yeah, you can use those. Like, there was a plugin that would be able to like use material IDs for like when you're doing retopology inside 3ds Max, but it was really hard to see. So yeah, so if you want to have specific loops on ZBrush side, you can start by making a loop and then assigning a polygroup and then like moving around it. So I don't think you're wasting time sculpting clothes with bad topology. Yeah, it's like you're getting the shape first, so there's no worry about you don't need to worry about it. You can retopologize them afterwards, so it's fine. like in ZBrush, getting the shape is the most important thing you need to worry about. Like, if you don't have the shape, you don't have topology. So, like, even if you have a good topology, and if you don't have a shape, then what's the meaning of topology? So, you sculpt for 3D prints or for advertising? This is just called casual sculpting. Like, if I want to like make a 3D print out of this, like, I can do it, but let me show you my example. So I usually do 3D printing models. Let me save this. I'll propose. So for example, I've made a model like this. Which is from an anime, but you may not know. And like I'm like basically doing sculpts mainly for these kind of like purposes. So I usually split them, 3D print them, and then start sanding and painting. So this is what I do mainly. And like for this Santa example, I'm not gonna I don't think I'm gonna plan to do some like 3D printing for this one, but usually I just want to like make some 3D models in general. And a good thing about this is that you can get the shape first, and then like think about what kind of use you're going to use it for. So for example, if you have a T-pose, and then like if you pose it, you can make it for a 3D print model or statue. But if you don't pose it, you can also use that T-pose to like for example gaming. So you can change the topology, like make it ready for rigging big normal maps, and then send it to other applications to get your model ready for games. So if you have the shape, like you can use it for a lot of things. That's Saturn you can't fool me. Yes, so it's Saturn-san from Toaru series. I do have a video entirely like showing how I made the model. So if you are interested in that, like you can check the video. I think the cloth looks too symmetrical in my opinion. And she needs to close her legs because I think I just delete this first and then make another version of it later on. What time should I end? 8:30? Yeah, it's 8:30. So 40 minutes to go, or no, 36 minutes to go. Okay. Are the clothes one-sided? Yeah, so it's one-sided and then it has the thickness by dynamics on. Dynamics subdivisions on. So, so for example, if you look at here, it's double-sided, but like if I add dynamic thickness, it's gonna have a bit of thickness. But sometimes it's distracting when you're like making folds, so I usually turn it off and then just use double until I get the initial shape done. like doing 2 hours of streams only like per 2 weeks is like not enough time to actually get the sculpt done. So I may want to like spend time out of stream, but would that be fine by you guys? I wanted to avoid it because like it jumps from like one situation to another without explaining stuff, so I wanted to avoid it, but maybe that's not an option. I'm new to making cloths in ZBrush. How do you extract it from the original mask? Mask it and then press extract. Yeah, I want to stream more if I had if I have the opportunity. I can do 24-hour streams, I guess. To be honest, I did it before. Like 24-hour stream is not really that hard. Like if you just focus on one stuff and then like if you're too deep into that art, then like it's not that hard. Like I think I can even finish one piece if that's like if I'm focused. I usually do 8-hour streams on my personal channel, like maybe four is a standard. I do 8 a couple of times. I don't do too much of like 24 hours because like it's gonna ruin my next day, so that's not my holidays. But yeah, like 8 hours is really easy. Like it's just like having a day job of like just sculpting. By the way, do I miss all your streams or you don't stream? Oh, because we had ZBrush Summit, I wasn't able to like stream because I was focused on a couple of stuff like managing other stuff like prize giveaways and stuff. So I didn't really have the time to actually stream. So this is my first time streaming after the ZBrush Summit. So I think there's a playlist of me doing sculpts. Let me check. Yeah, there's a list of my streams. So if you go down, there's Japanese version of my stream, and there's an English only version. So the English only version started with the Santa model. So if you check those, you're gonna be able to see all the like streams I did in English. I do streams on each Thursday. So I do streams on each Thursday, and then I go back and forth between Japanese version and the English version. So the next week will be Thursday in Japanese time, speaking in Japanese. And this week it's gonna be English, and the week after the Japanese one will be the English. So it's gonna be English per 2 weeks. Which is your Twitch channel? Well, I'm streaming here, but like, if you want to know my personal one, I want to make it personal, so. Well, you can search Kizaki Aoi if you want. I don't do it much, like I do it sometimes on weekends, but it's not really frequent. Oh, sorry. I like my nose was running and like I used the tissue and then set to mute and then forgot about it. Sorry. My nose is like really running tonight. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know why. Let me add some couple of hairs. I think I should hide the hat for now. Oh, not this one. Oh, yeah, it's hidden. Okay. Duplicate, no subdivisions, transform. Oh. I usually use the second one, so I set to flat. Yep, should be fine. Split. Subtool split. Split unmasked, delete, and yeah, here we go. What is your preferred method of detailing the cloth? I usually just go ahead and like use damn standard. It's my go-to, like, to be honest. It's the easiest way and like it gets the cleanest result for me. I usually, like, for now, like I use dynamics to get the basic shape and then like go into damn standard and then get the like wrinkles done. You can also use cloth brushes as well. Like there is a couple of like brushes. Which was it? I think it was cloth pinch, which generates a couple of like nice lines. I made a custom cloth pinch, but I think a couple of things was changed after it. You can make a couple of like good pinch tools from the normal pinch and then converting them to like cloth brushes. You can do those as well. It's going to generate a couple of like nice lines. Akue Hago Akui? What's the language there? Hi Daisuke, how are you? Do you use ZBrush for the cloth? Yes. I use ZBrush for pretty much everything, so. Damn standard, best standard. Yes. It's a damn standard. I guess it's Espanol, or is it Vietnamese? Because for me it looks pretty much the same. Let me translate this one. Spanish? What do I do here? Oh, it's Spanish. Okay. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, like you can have a lot of like cloth brushes up here. So if you press C, so like B to open the brushes, C to limit your options to cloth, and then you can have like cloth nudge, cloth move, cloth pinch, and all those stuff. I think there was like 17, if I recall correctly, brushes we added in 2021. And it works with the dynamic setting, so it's going to be fun. Couple of hairs should be going the other side because I want this to be why am I constantly switching back and forth between the brush I don't want to use? So on the last stream I talked about the hair directions. So you want a couple of hairs to like ignore your like flow of the hairs. So for example, let me launch up Epic Pen. So for example, if I ignore, so if I have a hair like this, it's following a one direction, right? But you want a couple of hairs to like go like this, or go like this, or go like this. So it has a bit of flow. So like it generates a kind of like activeness or like liveliness on the hairstyle. And this kind of like generates what kind of character she is. I want her to have like those kind of like active kind of like taste to it. So I'm kind of like adding those. You can generate a lot of like things with like adding hair strands or like adding like what kind of like eyebrows she has, but like it's more like iconography. So if you are like, if you know what iconography is, like if you look at like religious portraits or icons or those kind of like religious stuff, they put in some like knives or like eyes to like show what character that is. And I think eyes was St. Paulo's or St. Thomas. And what is it? Oh boy, I'm not really fond of like religious stuff, but yeah, like those kind of like iconography exist in like old kind of like art, and you can see that in Japanese like kind of style in manga as well. So it's the same, but it translates into a different language. So like if your character has a certain trait, then you better like make that into a character, like a part of your character. You can have the opposite effect of like faking it. So like I mentioned in the last stream, you can even fake your character by like tricking into people thinking that she has that certain trait, but she doesn't really have those. So you can do those as well. What the draw over program you're using? It's Epic Pen. It's nice. Don't trust the Undertaker. Yeah, I don't trust him. Epic Pen is a nice tool. You can really draw on top of it, and like I even paid like upgrade version of it. You can like take screenshots and then paint over it as well. Like you can have a lot of menus, upgrade. No, didn't I upgrade? I think I did. The hair you are creating, would this be appropriate for a game engines such as Unreal Unity? For this one, no, you need to optimize it for those kind of like usage. I'm not making a game model here, so. So if you want a game model, then you need to make it for the game model. Oh, why am I doing this? It's close to 8:30 for me, and it's gonna be like 10 minutes left until I need to quit my stream. So if you have any questions, like leave it in the chat. I may have missed a couple of like questions, like you guys were like talking into chat very quickly. Pixologic should buy a mountain and hold ZBrush Summit on the summit. Huh. Okay. 24 hours stream confirmed. Well, Pixel didn't buy a mountain, they have just backyard. Yeah, that's like they even have a front yard now, so Okay, I'm gonna use this one. I need to flip back the strokes. Curve. Joseph has some crazy front yard, or like what do you call those? Like there is some couple of like crazy stories related to the front entrance of Joseph. So like I had a conversation with Joseph the other day, and he mentioned about FedEx getting, like, the FedEx was delivering a package to his house from the front yard, and like the FedEx got stuck somehow. Like the drivers mentioned like it drove me off. So like some supernatural thing is happening beyond like our understanding of like Joseph's house. So you can ask Joseph about it on his like next stream, but I don't know about the details. Yeah, that one. Did I add too much hair? Why is people talking about Blender? I don't know. It comes up every stream, and like we're not developing Blender, so I don't know any answers related to Blender. So like I don't know what the point of like asking the question of like Blender related questions, to be honest. Like for example, like I noticed a couple of like people asking me, "What do you think about Blender?" Like, I don't know. What's the point of asking? Like, I don't get it. What do you think about Marvelous? I don't know. I see more people asking streamers about Blender-related questions. Like, for example, what was it? Flip Normals? Flip Normals is doing some couple of streams, and then like I sometimes watch them because I've like subscribed to their channel, and like I happen to like stumble upon the stream and then like watch a couple of minutes, and then there's a lot of like Blender related questions. I know they use Blender, I know, but like I can see them fed like kind of like fed up about it. So like I see a couple of other like 3D artists like getting bombarded with those kind of questions. Like I know it's popular, but how do you feel about clay? Like clay is nice. Yeah, I know, they added some stuff, but they always add stuff. This is just coming from me personally, not related to Pixologic, but if you go to the news websites related to 3D conversations, it's always like plugin information related to Blender, and like I want to know about some other stuff, but it's always Blender. So what do you think about pineapple on pizza? It's a human massacre, you know. Why do you do that? Like, a hot dog sandwiches? Is that a serious question, or? I know it's a common joke, yeah. But sometimes I feel like when I like look at the Maya's YouTube channel and then look at the comment section, like I'm like, you know, like it's full of like people asking for war. I don't think much like ZBrush users do those kind of stuff, but like, I don't know. I think it's a community difference, I guess. But like people, we are Pixologic, we're not. Like if we get questions related to Blender, we can't answer them. So just keep that in mind, because I don't know Blender personally. Yeah, so like if you ask me, which do you think is better, like Blender versus ZBrush, like how can I answer those questions? Like it's impossible. So like I know there's a couple of good things in opposite software. Also, there's a good things in ZBrush, and there's no fair comparison, so there's like no point of asking. So it's like asking which is better, like car or like NASCAR or F1, like Formula 1. You're gonna get different answers from everyone, so no point of asking. Choose the one you can use or like you prefer. I personally do all sculpt on flat color. Really? You can't see the like sculpt details with flat color, unless you're doing it for like thumbnail views. Or just silhouette, I mean. Character in movie and game and stylized. What is the difference in topology? So movies tend to use subdivisions, and games you tend to use triangles and like without subdivisions. So that's the huge difference between games and movies. So movies tend to like optimize themselves to like be able to use subdivision. So they tend to avoid using triangles as much as possible. And games need to have a lower topology so they can run real time. So it's optimizing the silhouettes. So you use triangles and squares at the same time. So that's the huge difference. Well, yeah, I know some people say NASCAR sucks, but or like F1 sucks, but they have their opinions. Like, keep it to themselves. You don't need to start a war in the chat section, I guess. But I really like ZBrush. So let me double check if I have additional time. How to be a character sculptor? I don't know. You gotta ask someone else who is a character sculptor. 4 hours until next stream. And then I can do a couple of additional time, I guess. I just want to spend more time sculpting. Forgive me, Kyle. I want to do sculpting. Like really, 2 hours is really hard to like sculpt what you want during the stream. You lose focus, you lose like sculpting time, and then like 2 hours is gone, like in a snap, like poof. it's just fun to sculpt. Like, I know it's my job, but like, I really forget it's my job. Like, sometimes, like, it's like, oh, am I able to get paid to doing sculpting? Like, cool. It's sometimes like that, so. Yeah. Like, I do feel it's kind of like a privilege, like being able to like be related to the development team and then like talk about like some improvements, talk about some ideas, and then like being able to like actually affect the software, and then like being able to speak to the community as well, and like being able to speak to you guys to like have fun to like sculpt in ZBrush and like what kind of stuff you can do in ZBrush. It's like a privilege. Yeah, I really have fun doing it. For cloth, you don't use dynamics or prefer sculpting? Depends. Like, I can do it for because of the dynamics. It's like if your poly count is high, it's somewhat a bit limited because it's gonna take time to actually calculate all the like vertex effect. So you need to have a low topology to actually do that. But like if you're looking for like shapes like these, then cloth dynamics is really great. But like if you're looking for specific like folds, you don't really need any like additional influences from the physics. So like sometimes I just tend to like sculpt them. But if you're like, I'm gonna show a couple of examples while making some like ribbons and stuff, but for those you want to make some like flow, and there I'm gonna use dynamics. And I want to change a couple of designs on the dress, so I'm considering what kind of like dress would be nice to have. Gotta make spaghetti. Don't touch my spaghetti. Like, somehow I watched too much PewDiePie videos for some reason. Like, it got me like recommended. I started watching Minecraft videos and like, oh boy. That was a like, they have so much memes. Like, how can they like do so much memes in one stream or like one video and people remember all of them? Cloth. Yeah, I think I was lucky for getting this job, to be honest. Like, I can speak Japanese and English, and I can sculpt, which is not really common. At least you don't really see Japanese people talking in English in the first place. And secondly, there's not much people who can sculpt and then talk in English and Japanese. So, yeah, I think I was lucky. I laughed so hard when he did the goat simulator. Yeah, that's a good one. Like, it's interesting how one person can affect the whole game. Like, how much sale that game generates. Like, for example, Among Us was like making huge revenues because a couple of like popular streamers or popular video creators were playing that game. Or even Fall Guys. Fall Guys was like pretty popular among the VTuber community. Pinch, pinch, pinch.こんにちは。まあ、今回の配信ではほとんど日本語は喋らずにですね、ほとんど英語でやっていくので、まあ、何か日本語でコメントがあれば日本語で返しますけど、基本英語です。So since there was a Japanese comment saying hello, I answered that I'm doing a stream in English, so if you have any questions, you can send them in Japanese, but mainly I'm talking in English. So I need to change the shape of the hat because it's hitting the endpoint here. I see action figures behind you, am I wrong? That's not action figures. I have acrylic stands. Which is pretty common. You can, like, they sell stuff like printed in acrylics. Acryl, like plates. And then, like, you can decorate your rooms using those kind of stuff. Well, I do have a lot of like stuff on my like desk. I have like figurines on my desk right now. So, for example, I have this Dead or Alive Kasumi figurine. So I have a lot of like figurines on my desk, but I have Velvet from Tales series. Daisuke, why don't you try make Nendroids? Nendroids are not that hard to make because like it's not really rewarding for me. Any Berserk figure? I don't think so. I don't collect too much male figurines. I have... oh, wait. I have Virgil. I have Dante, Virgil, Nero from Devil May Cry series from Kotobukiya. It's really good. Am I gonna like show my entire room of figurines? At least I have like close to 100 figurines. Well, it's on that side, but it's not gonna, like, my room is not really clean, so it's gonna be a next next opportunity. You need to have figurines if you want to make a good figurine, because you need to learn a lot of like shapes and how they like actually do the stuff, and you need to have excuses to buy a lot of figurines. Do you make those figurines or bought it? Like most of the stuff I bought it, but I do have figurines I made. So for example, I can show you a couple of my figurines. So for example, I made this figurine personally. It's a fan art. I made this figurine as well. So yeah. Can you show your drawing tablet? It's a Cintiq 24 HD. It's a Cintiq HD. Oh, it's a Cintiq 24 Pro. So if you search that, you're gonna be able to see that. Maybe I want to add a couple of twisting to this one. Let me delete one side. Delete one side, twist. Konosuba's third season? Yeah. Not what I intended. Can I hide this part? No, it's gonna be the same. Okay, that's not gonna work. I think I want to move the sphere a bit more higher and make it a bit more smaller. I just noticed that I'm maybe not speaking a lot of like techniques today, so I may need to improve it next time. And I forgot this is a red stops. There's not much action here. It's really still. I need to think about what kind of like pose they could do. Oh wait. Let me think about this. Oh yeah, it's using the mask information because I applied a stocking. Yep, should be fine now. Yep. Then I just need to rotate this a bit. And I think we need to rotate the head a bit. Oh, I don't need this. She needs a typical Christmas candy that, yeah. That makes sense. Hey, bye, pigeon. Yeah, there's a couple of items that needs to be added, like a Christmas present, I guess. Do we want to put it on her lap, or do we want to put it like here? Yeah, I think this is better. Maybe she can put it on her elbow, like. She's not a nice Santa. Yeah, and the Santa sack, I guess. Like, I want to make her, like, not taking the job really seriously. I just want to make her a bit, like, playful. maybe need a bit more polygon counts, and then cloth hook will be nice. Something like this. And I guess some cushion. I'll make some cushions later on, but like I'm just gonna add a template. Like this. I'm gonna use a deformers to do this. No, not deformers, the dynamics. Why am I keep saying deformers? Make it a bit pink, I guess. Okay, so it's 9, so I think I'm gonna stop my stream here. You need ribbon? Yes, of course. So I'm gonna add ribbons and like a proper lid later on, but like for now it's fine. How are present conspicuously shaped like a dog? Huh. Oh, one thing I forgot about the legs, like I keep constantly forgetting about the legs. Like it's my one thing that I'm really not good about, is like forgetting the legs. She's gonna wear boots, I guess, but I don't need this side. And I need to spend more time posing stuff. Okay, I'm gonna end my stream here because it's gonna take forever to do additional stuff, but I think it's good for now. Okay, see you guys in next 2 weeks. Bye.